The Florida State Seminole football team entered the year with lofty expectations. After a strong run topped off with the Georgia Dome Bowl win last year and preseason ranking number 5. While Manuel, like his team, has gone through ups and downs so far this season, Manuel suffered an injury in the biggest game of the year against Oklahoma, and the team is fighting to stay above 500 in the wide-open ACC. Before the second game of the year against Charleston Southern, Franchise Sports sat down with EJ for an exclusive one-on-one interview discussing Christian Ponder, Bobby Bowden, and the Virginia-bred quarterbacks in the league.
Got EJ Manuel, starting quarterback here at Florida State University.
Ariel Bedford, sports editor.
I don't take a whole lot to, be happy. I don't mind just, chilling by myself in my house, or, when I'm with my friends, I go and play some FIFA soccer on the Xbox, stuff like that. And if I'm not watching film, I'm probably doing that, or just watching TV, so it doesn't take a whole lot to please me.
All right, true. I'm going to tell you a couple names: Marcus and Mike Vick, Allen Iverson, Ronald Curry, Aaron Brooks, Tyrod Taylor. What does it mean to be a high school quarterback from the Virginia area?
Yeah, it means a lot, man. It's one of those things you grow up in. You want to be like those guys. You want to emulate those guys because you've grown up. I was 8 years old out there in the freezing cold watching those guys play in the playoff time. So, when I had the opportunity to do the same, I want to take advantage of it, and I did. I was able to come here to Florida State and play here. So, it means a lot. I'm very proud of where I come from, and I'm very proud of the Virginia quarterback fraternity I'm a part of.
Right. Now, how did it feel to win Bobby Bowden's last game?
Yeah, it felt great. Coach Bowden is a legend, pretty much a living legend. So, for me to say that I was first off his last quarterback, I won the MVP at his last bowl game, his last game period, meant a lot to me. So, it was definitely a huge blessing.
True. Now I want to talk a little bit about Christian. You guys shared time, last year. What is your relationship like with Christian?
Yeah, it's still good. It's still very strong. Now that he's playing for the Vikings, we still talk at least once a week. Not even just about football, just how things are going with him on the NFL level, and then he asked how things are going here with the football team. So we still keep in good contact.
What's the one thing you learned from him, that you carry with you now?
Probably the main thing was just game preparation. Watching film, and you practice how you play, and I think that's what really helped Christian. When he was here at Florida State, he practiced very well, and he played well. So I felt like if I practiced very good, just like he did, I would play very good on Saturdays.
True that. Now, 2011 is the year of the quarterback, with ESPN and everything. Could you briefly talk about, the experience going out to California and, being a part of the Elite 11?
Yeah, the Elite 11 was huge. I had also been invited when I was in high school, but it was, definitely one of my goals to get back out there as a counselor. When I was a high school guy, Mark Sanchez, Andre Woodson, Chad Henne, Chase Daniel, just to name a few guys, were our counselors when I was in high school. So, now that you've seen them grow up and now they're in the NFL, and for me to get a chance to go back there as a counselor was huge. I didn't catch it on TV, but I was there, so I pretty much know what happened. But it was good. It was a great experience. Nice to get out to California. Beautiful weather. Great football. Got some coaching from Trent Dilfer and George Whitfield, who's like a quarterback guru. So that was very good.
Name some accomplishments for you, and I want you to put them in order for me from 1 to 3. First one is getting a master's degree. Second one is winning a national championship. Third one is becoming a first-round draft pick in the NFL. What's the level of importance of those accomplishments?
I think the winning the national championship will be most urgent because that's the most realistic thing we can do this year. My master's degree will be the following year, so that would be second, and then first-round draft pick will be third. So if you have those priorities in line and those goals, I think those things can all be reached.
All right. And last question. Tell me something about this year's Seminole football team that the fans of FSU football don't know about.
I think we have a very tight-knit group. I think I think fans will probably be able to notice it out on the field. If you see a guy on defense make a play, you'll see 8 other guys right around and rallying with him. Whether they're on the tackle or not, they're going to congratulate him. On offense, you see a guy make a big play, and even if a guy makes a mistake, you're going to see guys clapping it up for him, telling him, "Hey, don't worry about it. We're coming right back to you." So I think that's the main thing about us, this team, is that we're a tribe. We're not just, a team. I think we're very tight knit. We're like brothers, and we bleed and die together.